Hi, everyone. I'm Phil Van Allen, and I'm a researcher in the design of AI. I wanted to show the latest experiment I've been working on. This is called the Animistic Multipersonality Tool, which is a new approach to working with large language models like ChatGPT. All right, so let's dive right in. So here you can see the interface to this tool, and when I'm going to work on a project, I want to give it a name so I can refer to it later. So call it example project. And you can see here we have our three personalities we're going to create for this little project. So I'm going to use, so our question is, why is the sky blue? And so my three personalities are right here. So scientist, let's say, in addition to that, third grade teacher, and last one, sarcastic friend. We all have those, huh? Okay, so and you can see those are now here, and we've got these little flip down systems. So here we have the scientist, and I'm going to flip down, and we're going to set their personality. So the first part of that is to select the large language model we're using for this personality. So I've offering OpenAI, which if I selected, say, or Anthropic, I would then have to put in my API key. But I'm going to pick Olama because I don't want to pay the fees. So we're going to use within Olama. I have this installed. Olama is a large way to put large language models on your own machine. I have it here on my laptop, and they actually work surprisingly well. So I'm going to use Gamma 3 here. And so, okay, so we're setting the scientist personality, and here we have the personality traits that we want to set. So I'm going to set, for example, scientific, and we got four total traits we can set. So I'm going to set say creativity, and let's go to clarity, and lastly, let's choose accuracy. Where to go? Oh no, not all these political ones. So you have that option if you want. Where to go? Accuracy. Okay, sounds like a scientist. Okay, so here we are setting the length of the response. So in this case, for an answer, the length is the number of words, roughly. And large language models can't exactly go 100 words, say, in this example, because they're non-deterministic. Um, Another thing we can set is the creativity level. So I'm going to put that at a kind of zero point 0.2 level since this is a scientist and should be quite accurate. Um, okay, so and then so we have already set we're going to do an answer to this query of why is the sky blue. We could do a rewrite if we put in a paragraph of text or whatever. We could also summarize in bullets in text. Okay, so what is the purpose of this? So we're saying an essay in this case, so we'll just take that default. You'll see later we can change this. Okay, so I'm going to get the response from Gamma 3, and it's moving along, and in a second we'll have an answer. Right? Yep. So there we are. So here's a scientific explanation of why is the sky blue, as best I could shape that personality. Um, okay, so let's set the next personality, third grade teacher. So again, we're going to use Olama, um, not DeepSeek, takes too long, but how about Llama? And then, okay, third grade teacher. So maybe they've got a little humor. Um, uh, then maybe they got a little metaphor, which might help with kids, and maybe a little creativity. Okay, so let's set our audience to third grade students. And what's the purpose of this? Oops. Our purpose is, I'm going to just backspace over the default. So third grade classroom lecture. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the response from Llama. And there it is. Okay, so this sounds like a third grade class. Hey there, young adventurers. Today we're going on a quest to find out why the sky is blue, and so on. So you can read on your own. And here's some response down here. So the response text is about 126 words, which is close to our 100 request. The top 10 words in terms of frequency, excluding stop words like the and is. So blue is mentioned 4 times, sky 3, and so on. And this is sort of a summary, an overview of how the prompt was formed. Not This is not the exact prompt that was sent to the language model, but because that's more technical, instead of include stuff like send it back to me in JSON. Otherwise, all right. So let's set the sarcastic friends personality. Okay, again, Olama, because I want to run this internally. Let's say Mistral. Actually, I'm going to say Gamma 3 because Gamma does better with sarcasm. Okay, so sarcasm, humor, speculation. I'm just making stuff up here, but and let's see, playfulness, say. Or we could put in my favorite. I'm just going to backspace over this one. Um, Gonzo journalist. Get a little Hunter S. Thompson attitude here. Okay, so who's our audience? Magazine readers, and we're doing an essay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our response here. Again, this is from Gemma, and surprisingly fast on this machine. By the way, this is a MacBook Pro M4 machine. Okay, so this could be fairly funny and playful. All right, so there's one example of using the personality tool, multi-personality tool. Let me put in some words, a paragraph to rewrite. And this is a draft paragraph from the blog post that I hope to put up about this project. Okay, so we need some personalities to respond. Literary, oops, maybe literary. Good spell. Okay. Who else? Designer and let's see, researcher. Okay, so there's our 3 personalities. Let's go down. And again, I'm going to keep using Olama because I don't want to pay the stupid fees and boil the planet. Okay, so for literary editor, let's use Gamma. And so I'm going to make a new trait here by backspacing over the defaults. And we'll call it very, what else? No, that doesn't seem quite right. Metaphorical. How about creativity? Okay. What else? Playfulness. Doesn't sound like literary editor. Eloquence. Okay, great. Um, okay, you see, this part of the reason for this tool is to really force you to decide what it is you want, which I think is one of the lessons from working with large language models. Is you really have to be clear on what it is you're trying to get from the model to help you. Because if you're asking your friend as an expert to help you with something, um, you would want to be able to very clearly say what it is you're trying to do. Okay, so we want a rewrite, not an answer here. Our audience is sophisticated readers. We're writing an essay, let's say, um, and so let's get a response. Okay, waiting for Gemma. Here we are. Okay, yeah. The architecture of engagement with large language models uses a complex iterative process. Yes, indeed. Um, okay, so we're going to shape the designer's personality. Uh, Go llama. Let's try a model. Say llama 3, 2. How creative? Okay, very creative. Okay, um, and designer professionalism. Let's say speculation, metaphorical. What else? Okay, not all this political stuff, but let's say persuasive. Okay, again, switch the rewrite. Who's our audience? Designers, because designers they're always writing for themselves, and we're gonna write an essay. Okay, here we go. Okay, not the most interesting response in the world, but okay. So researcher, let's go pretty darn accurate. give it a little creativity. What else? Professionalism, scientific, speculative, but clarity. And we're again, we're doing a rewrite. Let's be clear about that. Audience, design, design researchers, and writing an essay. Okay. Oops. Wrong. Okay, it's telling me I need an API key for OpenAI, which I didn't put in. So we're gonna use. Let's do that. Let's use Gamma. First. Okay. All right. So there you have it. Um, and so just again to summarize, this is a tool that generates multiple personalities for working with large language models. And you can set up to three if more needed. I could add that as a feature. But in any case, you can create your different personalities. So we've generated a literary editor, a designer, and a researcher. Okay. So thanks so much for listening, and catch you later in the comments.